guys, this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the second episode of The Muppet Show, which features Connie Stevens. Now, for those of you who don't know who Connie Stevens is, she's pretty much a singer and an actress that started all the way back from the late 1950s. According to my research, her most well-known role was in Hawaiian Eye. Now, some of you may not be familiar with Connie Stevens, but the one thing I will admit about her, at least in this episode of The Muppet Show, she's actually pretty attractive, not gonna lie. But she really is flirtatious, especially with the other Muppets. But then again, maybe that's part of her charm, or, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know, either way. But anyways, I will say about the episode itself, it's actually a great episode. This is a lot of fun to watch. Now, I guess the one place I could start with is with the acts. And the one that really did stand out is the first one, actually, where Kermit sings Lydia the Tattooed Lady, and it even features this pig that actually is Lydia the Tattooed Lady. And this is the part of the Muppets where I really do admire the most, is the amount of craftsmanship they would put in for, like, this one number. Like in the song, they would describe all the different tattoos that Lydia has, and they actually put it in the Lydia Muppet. It actually is quite impressive. And even the ending is actually pretty great, and like one of the most brutal moves that Miss Piggy has ever done, honestly. And even some of the other numbers are actually a lot of fun, especially, in fact, actually, this is the first episode where we see the Swedish chef, where he has these meatballs, but the only thing I'm gonna say, they're a lot more bouncier than before, and like the results that happen, it's short, but it's great. And also, an interesting thing that is worth noting is that this is also the first prominent episode that featured the Electric Mayhem. There are actually a few numbers that did feature like some of the people in there. Like Dr. Teeth and Animal were introduced like in the At the Dance sequence. And then there was a number called Ain't Misbehavin' that features Zoot, Janice, and Floyd. And then there's an extra number that prominently features Zoot, where he's pretty much like doing this like this musical number where he has to toot like one note from his horn, and then like he's pretty much being challenged with he's pretty much facing the Mana guy with a little like bell, and like he's pretty much trying to steal the act and stuff like that, which leads to great results. Another great number. And as for the Backstage Story, it's actually really funny. Like, it's a simple plot, but they execute it so well. And it's about Fozzie mishearing everybody saying that the bear has to go, when in actuality, everybody's talking about Gonzo, who has this, like, moldy old teddy bear. Like, nobody likes it. And he thought it was him, so like it all leads to great results. And yeah, like it's pretty much a great episode that prominently features Fozzie and like who he really is outside of the like pretty much the comedic bear. So yeah, pretty much it all led to great results. And as for the other parts with Connie Stevens, there are a few other numbers that she did. They're kind of the more sweeter moments. The first one is actually a teenager in love, where it's all set in the 50s, and she even wore a poodle skirt, which I'm sure the millennials nowadays would definitely not understand, because I'm guessing, like, for anyone who's born after the year 2000, the 1950s are pretty much considered the medieval age. And also, there is another slow number where Connie Stevens, she becomes so flirtatious with Kermit and also Fozzie at the same time when she's singing Close to You. And, but yeah, that is pretty much, it's all a great number. But you guys might be wondering, is there any problems with this, or this is just an overall great episode? Now, here's where I'm a little bit split. Now, what I'm about to say is not really a flaw of the episode, but I feel like is a complete missed opportunity. And you guys will know what I mean by missed opportunity. Now, I just want to mention that Connie Stevens, believe it or not, is not the only special guest here. They actually included 2 more, and that is Ernie and Bert from Sesame Street. Yeah, they actually had a great number where Bert ended up singing Some Enchanted Evening after, like, a few moments of encouragement from Ernie. Like, overall, it led to a great number where Bert would be singing Some Enchanted Evening with Connie Stevens as well. Like, she's being flirtatious with Bert on top of that. But also, you get the cynical responses from Ernie and stuff like that. It all led to this great number. But the reason why I feel it's such a missed opportunity is that Ernie and Bert only appears in that one number. Like, it really would have been great if we saw Ernie and Bert interacting with all the other Muppets like Gonzo and Fozzie backstage during this whole thing. Like, it would have been great if we saw more Ernie and Bert. But like I said, the episode itself is great, but like, the fact that they also included Ernie and Bert, I don't know, I felt like maybe they should have had their own episode. Like, just have an episode of, like, where Ernie and Bert are the only special guest stars, and then you can have, like, the shenanigans that would ensue there. Like, that would have been great. But overall, like, it's just great with Connie Stevens. Oh! There is one more thing I would like to mention, is that there is something very interesting in this episode, is that they actually do feature Muppets that I believe they're only featured in this season. I think, like, they're only in the first 2 seasons, or just in the first season, but I guess I'll figure it out later on when I watch more of the episodes, is that they actually feature the first appearance of Hilda and Wayne and Wanda. Now, I know these characters a lot more, but, like, they're not really, like, they don't show their potential here. But Hilda is more like the sweet granny that is backstage in the Muppets, and Wayne and Wanda, they would have this bit where they would try to make a musical number, but they would end up screwing it up. Which would often lead to some great results. But in here, it's a little bit different. The way that they use Hilda is mostly, she was the first one to initiate saying that the bear has to go when she refers to the teddy bear and stuff like that. While with Wayne and Wanda, like they show a bit of who they are. Like, they don't have an act right now, but they're pretty much the ones who initiated the appearance of Connie Stevens. Like, Wayne is pretty much ranting that they didn't need the Connie Stevens spot, and then Connie Stevens is actually there and stuff like that. So that led to the great results. But overall, I gotta say that this is such a great episode. A lot of great results that happen, like an interesting backstage story, great musical numbers, really great use of the special guests. The only issue that I would have is that maybe they should have had Ernie and Bert in their own episode, but having Ernie and Bert there just made it all great. So overall, this is really a fun episode, and I highly enjoyed it. So that's pretty much it with this episode on the Muppet Vlog. Let's see what we got, and if this awesomeness keeps on going in the next episode. But until next time, see you later, dudes!